want to welcome everyone to New York City, the Dream Hotel, for the official press conference. Jermall Charlo versus Dennis Hogan. Before we begin about the particulars about the fight, if you would, at some point today, when you have some quiet time, I hope that you would send a prayer for Patrick Day, the Day family, and his longtime trainer, Joe Higgins. For those I'm not sure all of you know, and for those who don't know, Patrick Day passed away yesterday at the tender age of 27, a young, up-and-coming fighter who succumbed to his injuries. I had the pleasure of calling some of Patrick Day's early fights on Broadway Boxing here in New York City under Lou DiBella, who was his promoter. And Patrick Day was a great young man, intelligent, smart, came from a really, really good family. And he kind of debunked sometimes that misnomer that people think that fighters come from poverty, low backgrounds, socioeconomically depressed. This was a young man whose father was a doctor, his mother worked for the UN, had a college degree, but he would be the first to tell you, I love the sport and I love to fight. And it goes to that old adage sometimes that you don't choose boxing, boxing chooses you. He chose the sport because he loved it and he lived it. And just hope that in your quiet time sometime today, please send a prayer out to the Day family, for Patrick Day and his longtime trainer, Joe Higgins. Let me get to why we're here, folks. The undefeated WBC middleweight world champion, Jermall Charlo, is going to defend his title for the second time against highly ranked contender, Dennis Hogan. This fight's going to take place Saturday, December 7th. You will see it live on Showtime Championship Boxing. It will take place at the Barclays Center, which is the home of Brooklyn Boxing, and it's an event that is presented by Premier Boxing Champions. This is what you really need to know. Tickets for this event, promoted by Lions Only Promotions, TGB Promotions, are on sale right now. And they can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com and at BarclaysCenter.com. Tickets can also be purchased at the American Express box office at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Before we get into all of the particulars, talk to the fighters, let me bring up a man who's going to tell you more about this exciting evening of boxing. He is the president of sports event programming at the Showtime Networks, Mr. Steven Espinoza.
Thank you, Brian. And just to echo Brian's points regarding Patrick Day. Patrick fought on Showtime on Showbox back in 2015. He also fought on the non-televised undercard of Wilder Fury. And one thing you're going to hear a lot from people who remember him is exactly how Brian described it. Intelligent, outgoing, bright person. Clearly he's missed by many. So making the somewhat awkward segue to our topic today. We are thrilled to have Jermall Charlo back where he belongs here on Showtime. Jermall's first appearance on Showtime was on Showbox back in 2013 at just 23 years old. Second round KO of Anton Smith. I'm sure he remembers that. He's now an undefeated two-division world champion, and on December 7th he'll be making his 10th appearance on Showtime. His 6th world title fight, 2nd defense at middleweight. The 4th fight at Barclays Center, the first time technically as a main event fighter, and that's of course due to the coin flip, the unlucky coin flip last December. As a fighter, you know, Jermall is the complete package. Power, speed, athleticism, and obviously an elite skill level. So it's no surprise that he's one of, if not the most avoided fighter in his division. Dennis Hogan deserves a lot of credit for stepping up to a challenge that many other fighters would not or have not. Dennis is a tough, aggressive fighter. Many people believe he should be a world champion himself right now. He comes in with a record of 28-2-1. If you look a little closely at those two losses, he lost a decision to a German fighter in Germany, and he lost a decision to a Mexican fighter in Mexico. Personally, I don't believe he lost that fight in Mexico, but on the record it goes down as a loss. That says a couple things about Dennis Hogan. He's not afraid of a challenge, he's not afraid to go into someone else's turf, and he's a tough guy. He's aggressive, come forward fighter with a good chin, and he says that moving up from welterweight from super welter to middleweight is going to make him much stronger than he's been in the past. No doubt he's going to be bringing a very vocal Irish fan base with him. This is a really intriguing mix of styles and personalities here, and we will have a very strong, very interesting co-feature which we'll be announcing in the next couple of days. So again, December 7th, it's a night not to miss. Thank you.
Let me tell you something, Stephen's right. A lot of exciting things happen on December 7th. It's my birthday. So fellas, bring some fireworks in there, because we're going to party that night. Before we hear from the fighters, let's meet some of their camps. We're going to start with the Dennis Hogan camp. And coming here to the mic, he's the CEO of DDP Sports. He's also the promoter. Mr. Hogan, his name is Paul Keegan.
Thank you very much. We're extremely excited to be here in New York with Dennis. Jermall, we want to thank you for the opportunity for fighting for this title. We want to thank Peter Canner, American Advisor, Showtime and PBC. You know, we're coming here extremely confident. The reason why Dennis took this opportunity is really simple. Not one junior middleweight would fight Dennis Hogan after Mexico. Not one. So our options were very limited. So when this opportunity came to us, Peter rang me and I rang Dennis and he said yes, no, how much, what are we doing, where's it for? Yes. So, you know, we believe we've got the uncrowned world champion in our camp. You know, he's stronger now moving up to middleweight. We're excited about being here. We're excited about the Irish contingent who are going to hit Brooklyn that night. You know, there's an amazing history between, you know, Irish people and American people, especially in New York. And, you know, already we know there's people coming over from Ireland from this fight. There's people coming from Australia. Plus, you know, the thousands of Irish Americans. We're meeting people today whose great-great-great-great-great-grandfather moved over here who want Dennis Hogan to win this fight. So we're not coming here for a holiday, we're not coming here for a camp. This is destiny. An Irishman is going to become the middleweight champion of the world in New York City, and that's our goal. So we thank you so much for your hospitality, and we're very excited to be here. Thank you very much.
I think there's a number of people who thought his arm should have been raised and the words "in the new" should have been spoken. Rode a 6-fight winning streak into that title fight with Munguia. He's competed at super welter. He's competed at middleweight, super middleweight, even light heavy in his career. But he's coming to the States for the first time in 3 years. He's known as the Hurricane, Dennis Hogan.
I just want to start by thanking everyone again. I want to echo everything that Paul Keegan has said. Thank you to Peter Can, thank you to DDP Sports, thank you to BBC and Showtime Boxing and everyone involved. Very happy to be here in New York. I have fought here before and it's always a great vibe. Looking forward to getting back in there, doing it again, getting that really good vibe of a rich boxing history here in New York. And look forward to being one of another Irish fighter to come and win a world championship here. The WBC, very coveted world championship belt organisation, and I always ranked it the first and foremost world champion belt above all. For a long time now, for 4 years, I've visualised myself wrapping the WBC world title belt around my waist in the Barclays Centre, and I believe that that dream has become manifest. December 7th, I will wrap that around my waist, I will wear it, and we will party and paint this town green afterwards.
Yeah, right.
I'm very, very happy to be here. I look forward to it. I'm going to put on a great fight for everybody, and hope everyone can tune in, get as many Irish people there for the atmosphere. This will be my home on December 7th. Thank you.
And now the champion. 29-0. 21 victories by knockout. Fights out of Houston, Texas. Moniker known as the future of boxing. Also known as the Hitman. Made his first successful title defense this past summer in June in his hometown of Houston, Texas. And now he's coming back to Barclays Center, New York City. Before that homecoming fight, he had 3 straight fights at Barclays. 2 of those fights ended in knockout. He is the WBC middleweight champion of the world, Jermall Charlo.
Hello, Brooklyn. We back. It's been a while since we fought here. Some of this situations didn't go like we wanted them to, but the Barclays is home for Lions Only. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank my manager, my trainer Ryan Shields, my whole team, Lions Only Promotions. I want to thank Dennis Hogan for accepting my challenge. That belt not going nowhere. Matter of fact, I might just make a little home for it here at the Barclay. I'll pick it up every time I get back. You got some big hopes, 160 is my division. Obviously, I want the bigger fights at 160. That's not what's on the menu right now. So I'm gonna just do what I have to do, and maybe next year. I'm not looking past Dennis Hogan, but he has nothing that I have to worry about. All that talk, I'm gonna gain a lot of Ireland fans on December 7th. So, it is what it is. Talk is cheap, so we'll see what's up whenever we get in the ring. I see y'all December 7th.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the fight. You each have a microphone in front of you. Champ, let me start with you. What is it about Brooklyn? What is it about Barclays Center? It seems to bring out the best in you. Before that Houston fight, again, 3 straight fights there, 2 of them spectacular knockouts. What is it about fighting in Brooklyn and Barclays Center that you like?
The Barclays is like, the new, the Mecca, Madison Square Garden used to be, the big spots where everybody wants to box, but when we go to the Barclays, it's like, it's a new home for us. If you've been to a new home, that's what it feels like.
Dennis, what does it say about you as a fighter that you go from a controversial world championship loss to another world title opportunity here in New York, in Brooklyn, fighting for the WBC middleweight title? Because generally, guys that get a title opportunity and never get another title shot. But you go back to back from one title shot to another opportunity. What does that say about you as a fighter?
I believe that speaks volumes about, the last fight that I did have. But, I'm on record, I'm on video saying that I feel like the champion in here. It's only a matter of time before I end up on here. And so that's why when this opportunity came, and it did, I just believed it's destiny. It's time for me to be world champion now. I've been putting the work in, and I've been working hard. I believe I'm definitely one of the hardest workers out there, and I've proved that time and time again. Anybody who's trained with me knows my laser focus, and I see that belt, and I do believe it's coming.
Mom, you talked about not only fighting Dennis, but you said you want bigger fights, huge fights at 160 with Canelo, fighting at higher weights. Is this the time where you need to establish yourself as the best fighter at 160 pounds?
I am the best fighter at 160 pounds. You know, in due time, the world will get a chance to see me prevail and be the best fighter I can be. You know, it's some great fights at 160. It's some great fights at 168. I even had the idea and the thought of getting touching 54 again just to, you know, clean it up. But you know, I'm the man at 160. And I, you know, big hopes and big dreams. But I'm going nowhere. Period.
Dennis, there's some who would say you're coming into this fight at a disadvantage. Fighting at 154, now coming up at 160. But you have said all along, this is a great thing for you, a great thing for your career to be fighting at 160. Why?
Well, I mean, back 5 years ago, I was told, you know, super welterweight would be the way to go, even though I was light heavyweight champion of Ireland. You know, I had some great wins on the Irish team as a light heavyweight before I went pro, and then worked my way down. We thought super welterweight was where I would go, but I sort of stopped, you know, being as strong as I was, and I stopped, and then knockout power seemed to leave me. And now that this has popped up, and I started to look at the pros and the positives, and I think that not having to drain out that last 3 kilos of water on the day is going to be everything that my muscles need to retain that strength. I've been working hard in the gym to retain. I've got a lot of strength in the gym. You know, we work on transferring it over, and it's there, but it seemed to have gone missing on fight days. And now I can't wait to get that back. I've always been still been very heavy-handed, but I mean, now that power I feel is going to come back. I do have the speed of a welterweight. I have the agility and reactions of a light welterweight, and I've got the chin of a heavyweight. You put all that together, and it's going to make one hell of a fight.
You know, Dennis, I read some of your comments when you were talking about Jermall, and you saw his the film of his last fight and the back and forth that he had with Brandon Adams. In light of that, Jermall, it was an entertaining fight, you and Adams. What should we expect December 7th? Because you're getting into a ring with a man who's very confident.
You know, I'm not worried about his confidence. Yeah, every fighter I fight is confident. You know, he's number 30. That's what I call him. Dennis is number 30. That's what he is. So I'm not worried about it. Look, we're gonna get in there. We well prepared. Like, we can fight tomorrow. I'm ready. You know what I mean? 160 is my division. You know, and Shield drew up a nice game plan. I'm no Hami or none of the fighters he done fought before. So, you know, you get a chance to get in there and see what he can do against, you know, my skills, my speed, my power. He said he had a heavyweight chin. So we gonna find out on December 7th. We gonna find out how heavy that chin is, and all the, you know, subliminal talk that he had in his belt not going nowhere. Number 30, stop talking like that.
Lastly, Dennis, man, it's an interesting fight. First fight here, 3 years, talking about in the States. Coming off your first loss in, what, over 4 years? So it seems like you got a fighter that Jermall's going to be facing that's going to be very hungry. And being in New York, and you know how ethnicity has always played a great part in boxing. There's going to be a lot of Irish fans there as well. It's going to be an interesting fight. I would say, what should we expect?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, when we went to Germany, fight got postponed, everyone lost their tickets. I had about 4 or 5 people in the crowd. We went to Mexico, we had a bit of a contingent there, but there was 15,000 there from Angola. But this time, I do believe we're going to have more Irish Australians in the crowd. I'll have a bigger support. I know that stuff always drives you home, but I don't lie. I give Charlo ups for, again, giving me this fight, this opportunity. And I know that he is a very good fighter. And but again, I mean, this has nothing to do with him. For me, this is me living my destiny and my dream. And we're going to get all the Irish there that follow the dreamer. And we're going to hear it. We're going to feel it. You can, when the Irish get going, you can feel it in your chest when they start to pump that. And well, you see what happens. It's like a third hand in the ring.
Champ, give you the last word here. December 7th, Barclays Center, What should everyone expect when they tune into Showtime Championship Boxing?
A knockout, December 7th. We'll come straight into it. I'm gonna give him exactly what he want. You know what I mean? Don't put Ireland on your back like that. I love Ireland too. You know what I mean? I got a lot of Ireland fans, so you know, you might be going to Ireland, Texas.
Folks, the fight is December 7th, Barclays Center, Brooklyn. And you can see it on Showtime Championship Boxing. It all begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Don't miss it. Gentlemen.
Good, Amanda?
Yep.
Okay, forward, please. Forward, please. Forward, please. Very good. Face the camera just better.
Smoke fire in there.
Okay, you want to have Ronnie come on up here? Just do one quick one for your team. Face the cameras in the back, please.
Sorry, can you just lower your phone for a sec, please? Thank you.
Good, Amanda?
Yep.
Right down in front here, please. Hey, thanks, everybody. Just stay on the stage, fellas, for the interview. We'll just